Hello guys, welcome back to FACEIT TV. It is the third cup for our spring season with QUAKE Live here, coming from FACEIT. And we are moving rapidly through the bracket. We're all the way at the second semi-final. Of course, we have Cypher just sitting there in his almost like throne chair as he awaits the person he's going to play against next, which will be the winner of this game, the second semi-final, dem0n and Evil. Evil, of course, he had quite the reputation in the first season to just be this guy that was just unstoppable. If he played, he'd probably win, almost certainly so. And dem0n, of course, was an up-and-comer who gradually showed that he could actually beat players of this caliber. So it's going to be very interesting to see if dem0n can step it up, but he's most certainly the underdog. Any thoughts?
No, I mean, definitely. The thing with Evil was he's one of those guys who was in a position like these guys, like Agent, where, sure, online they had the results, they were causing upsets, they were gradually establishing a record, like, I'm actually a good player online, it's not just upsets. But then he actually went, obviously, famously to DreamHack, he beat Cypher, he beat Rafa, so he kind of really established, like, no, I can actually do this, like, under pressure as well. And sadly, we didn't get more lands to kind of see how good he could have become, to see if he could have kept that record going.
It's really interesting, isn't it?
But I think he kind of showed that, like, he had the chops definitely to be like a real LAN player, you know, not just someone who just gets the occasional upset.
Because like when we talk about like Cooler, for example, and you go, okay, take Cooler. This guy was like this prodigious kid because, like, you know, when he was like 15, he managed to have the level of maturity and composure to just sit down at his like first like big international lands. Oh, I just beat like the best player 0-4 who's just been dominating the game for like 2 years. I'll just beat him in the final. No problem. But like Evil's actually this player, okay, he's quite old now because he's been around for a very long time. He's really old school. He was in Cyberfight and everything, like a super old school guy. He came back and then all of a sudden now he just like goes to a LAN and kind of does the same, a similar thing. It's just like sits down in Rafa's house where Rafa should be like extremely confident. A grand stage final. It's like his second home. It's like holiday home. And Evil managed to actually just topple him there in 3-1 fashion. So it is quite a shame we don't get to see more because he's clearly got something special about him.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like an unfortunate scenario that he kind of brought out his best form right towards the end of the LAN like circuit as it was, and we don't know whether there'll yet be another DreamHack. If there will be, then maybe we get the chance to see them play again. But that was like also one of the last big LANs where you had nearly everyone there. You didn't have Cooler there, admittedly, but you had like Avec, you had Cypher, you had Rafa. So yeah, it kind of felt like on one hand it was cool that you had like someone new who was able to actually like even make the final, because we'd seen like Rafa Cypher like 4 times in a row or something ridiculous. But at the same time, you kind of feel like, oh, I wish he'd been there like a year earlier when the scene was at its absolute most competitive, you know.
It would have definitely been nice because he also, you know, brought a new style as well. He brought his own style. It's like it wasn't like he copied someone else, or like, for example, with Rafa, you know, he was saying that originally, like, he got really good from watching Cooler demos and trying to emulate Cooler and how he makes decisions and how he plays and stuff like that. And of course, you know, he ended up developing his own style. But Evil just came into the game and just was doing things that really like no one else had done really before, and you know, using the lightning gun and just taking certain fights in different ways and just pushing the boundary and the boundaries in some aspects of the game. So right now, both players are actually on the server, so they will get the picking process underway soon. Or actually, in fact, they have already engaged in the picking process. And Bloodrun is removed by dem0n, and Hectic's removed by Evil. So no Bloodrun or Hectic. And Bloodrun's actually Evil's favorite map.
Well, obviously.
Obviously. Like, I said this a few times, but I think it'd be funny because I haven't said this to you. Actually, I was watching when V was playing a lot, and V was actually getting really good when he was here in Europe. For a brief period of time. He was playing against Evil a lot. And Evil, like, often he'll be like, okay, can we change map away from Bloodrun? And Evil's like, no. It's like, this is the best map, most tactics. It's like for smart people and stuff like that.
I mean, like every single player from Eastern Europe seems to be in love with that map.
It's quite crazy.
And they've never got bored of it either.
Yeah, it's been around for like good 13 years or something like that. It's been around for quite some time.
The thing is, it suits, since so many of them have the style of wanting to have this like really intensive control elements. So you're just waiting in the game till you get your turn in control. And you're like, right, now I just bash you down the whole time. That's like one of those maps where if you can put a lot of pressure on someone, you can really rack up the amount that you get. Like, I mean, famously, obviously, people like Cooler, Cypher are very good on it, but also someone like Avec can be very dominant when they're in control on that map. And it means for the players who aren't so comfortable, it becomes like a really annoying map to play.
It's like we have the maps picked too. So we have Furious Heights and DM6, but we're going to the campgrounds first as Evil's pick, and he is the superior seed over dem0n, quite rightly so. And I don't know what to really say about this. I just want to let the match speak for itself. I'll just tell them that we are ready, because I don't know. I guess if you push me to make a prediction for this series and then for the map, I guess I would say I think
Evil wins 2-0.
2-0.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, I think this is the best map for Demon to win.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think otherwise,
it's where his aim can help him the most.
Yeah.
I so want to just be like, I'm gonna say 2-1 for Demon or something like that, just so that we have like a counter. But I'm really feeling Evil as well.
I'll take that side of the bet.
So I'm gonna just be boring and say 2-0 Evil as well, because I feel that's how it's going to go. But we'll see how it's going. We've got Demon and Evil getting underway. It's a second semi-final here from the FACEIT Sunday Cup, the third one for the spring season. We're underway on Demon there as he picks up the Mega, speeds his way along to the red armor to only find that it is not there. Oh, and he actually comes around Evil's back in the process, and that could have actually been a blessing in disguise, because he managed to get a lot of damage off there onto the Evil. In fact, 120 damage to the 40 of Evil, so that was a very efficient engagement for him. So you always want to take those. And
he's caught him out of position here, and he's going to be able to back off onto the red.
Yep.
And when there's plenty of time for this next Mega too.
Great positional play from Demon there. Position sometimes trumps armor and stack, well, armor and health. So you always got to consider that, and Demon realized it in that spot, and it won him a red, it won him a Mega, and it won him control on DM6 on campgrounds, where control is absolutely paramount. There comes in a nasty rocket from Evil. How is he going to turn this around? He's got all the weapons actually. He's lacking some lightning gun ammunition, which is really going to be something that is going to bother him, because it's something that's so iconic about his game. But look at those rockets. Finally, even Evil will actually deal the damage with the rockets as Demon picks up. Oh my god, Demon with a great little rocket there as Evil tries to be sneaky. The thing is, I guess, Evil realized he got him so low, he just needed to hit one rail, and that Demon would definitely go through there because Mega's spawning.
He tried to trick him there to lure him in, but he actually came around the one spot that he didn't want. It was the one blind spot was just behind him and was left there.
I love the plays from Evil, but Demon's just getting the better of him. But I really like the plays, for sure.
He's just seen the red armor taken there.
And all is quiet as Demon creeps around the world curve. He's wanted to hear those shard pickup sounds from sound cues from the Evil picking them up, but Evil was elsewhere. Evil going to take away the railgun. Red and Mega are both spawning at the same time. This is really detrimental to the prospect of control for Demon, but it's going to be a split. Demon takes position on the bridge.
But he didn't know. Look, he thought that Red was actually a couple of seconds after.
And Evil as well is like hanging around at the Mega, like, is it going to spawn? So they both just like tricked each other there, but Evil's going to finally...
It makes you wonder what they thought the other person was doing on the map, just chilling off in a corner somewhere.
It's so quiet now, both players sneaking around. Red's coming up, they're going to converge here now. Who's going to get the engagement?
He's already around the corner.
And Evil is going to be the one that gets the far better of this situation.
And there's still a little bit too much time for he can't go for the Mega. And he doesn't know it's there. He must be thinking that Evil took it like between now and then.
This is gutting.
Now let's see if Demon actually thinks that Red is going to be soon.
Man, it must feel so bad for Demon, because like he has such a good opportunity, he just got caught out. And now he's got 2 frags at least in the advantage, so that's always nice to have, but he's going to be running into this problem that he's got 25 points of armor, and after Evil picks up this red, he's got free reign of the map. He just all he has to do now is pick up this Mega.
And Demon has no clue when Mega is.
And Evil's precise timing on it. Oh,
there we go.
There we go, catches him.
He hasn't actually taken it. Backed off. Oh, and he hits a nice rail.
There we go, gets the pick up on the Mega.
And he didn't go for... Oh, no, he tried to push him after all. And I think he blew himself up to some degree there before he got shot.
How did that even happen? Like, Demon got in so much efficient damage there. I mean, that's like the best way to come back into control. If you can find those situations, and Demon found them. He's so confident with his aim and his fighting abilities, but Evil coming in from above with the rockets will catch Demon off guard there, and that's going to be a frag. It's going to reverse things, and that's quite crazy reversals on the campgrounds we're seeing here. It's not so typical at all, I would say. And Demon taking the long range damage there. I don't know why he was facing, trying to peek there. That's not the best thing to do against a railgun if you've just got a machine gun. And there, Demon going to be caught off with more lightning gun damage, with more death and pain as Evil sneaks away. Another red armor ties up the game, and if Demon can actually, if Evil can actually make a solid run of control finally through all this, then Demon just lost his one commodity, which was the lead. And right here, Evil is got to be positioning himself for this red. It's coming up next. And this is going to be quite an error, because now Demon's going to be like, oh, hello, you're waiting for Mega. Well, I'll just take red and just leave. And that's going to be a great situation for Demon to get back into control. I mean, a mistake from Evil, but can Evil rectify this mistake?
Rocket jumps out. Oh, he doesn't. It was a fake rocket jump.
But Evil manages to just see him regardless. Alan coming through the choke point. Demon trying to defend, but not able to hang on for long enough. And Evil with superior positioning is coming in with the damage once
He
again.
might not have time though to get it. Nope, guys, just as it's.
Oh my god.
I wonder if he just was like going by feel, like 1 or 2 seconds off there, or maybe he just rounded up in his head or something.
If he hadn't have picked that up, this is Evil's Mega.
There we go. That's it.
If he had picked up that red,
and now he gets the yellow, so now he's got like he's got a solid stack immediately.
this was the control was won here on like the finest of margins ever. A split second difference, and that is control. And Demon, okay, his control isn't super solidified just yet, as Evil was in position to deny him, as Demon was a bit slow, but still nonetheless. Demon is doing a decent job so far in this game, and it's just one rail to equalize the stacks. Mega's coming up, he has to hit one rail. It's going to give him the cue if he does to actually go to challenge, but he misses it, and that's going to mean that he has to back away. He cannot challenge really for this. Maybe he can get a nice peak shot with the rail, but no, be careful. Look at the damage coming from Evil.
A really good positioning there by Evil actually, until the end.
Whoa, those
hit
rockets.
By 2 pumps.
Whoa, Demon, such great rocket work there. Worthy of Pavel, the cosmonaut himself, as Demon manages to get even a frag off the spawn. That was such a great play, and that surely should make the top 5 coming into the next week. Because
I mean, it really had been good positioning when he was trying to pick up the Mega, because every time Demon just tried to look into the pentagram, and Evil was always a little bit off while being able to LG him. But yeah, I mean, 3 perfect backing away rockets there to kill the guy.
Yeah, really good stuff.
He almost didn't even see him for 2 of them.
And there's a decent rail as well to just keep Evil at arm's length, as Demon has to retreat. 28 points of health. Not the most comfortable of positions to find yourself in. And he swings his mouse around as I don't know why, but there Evil just comes to him. He's like, I don't know why Evil was there, I have to say. But it's looking like Demon's
Our prediction isn't looking very good right now.
No, I was just thinking that as well.
Especially since Evil's just rushing out, but he knows the Mega timer now.
He does. I mean, it's still completely possible here for Evil, because he can get momentum. If he just picks up, he can just pick up these items. But the thing is that this is a great opportunity. Demon has to know he's got to be aggressive now. This would be such an amazing spot for Demon to be aggressive. He's instead going to go and just play it a little bit more calmly, not go for the aggressive option to attack red. But he could have done. He could have just gone for it. Would have left Evil low, put it to a risk. But he's got the frags to play with. If he would have made the risk count, he would have slowed Evil down. It could have been potentially a very good play. But 3 minutes left now, and Evil's still on a relatively similar stack to his opponent. So this Mega, it's all going to come down to that. And Demon's not there to really challenge or deal damage, so maybe a missed opportunity for Demon there. But he will at least pick up the yellow armor. So things are starting to get out of control for Demon. Oh, and that rocket did not help him at all, not one bit, as Evil just connects even a railgun follow-up, as Evil now just waits patiently around the corner like a predator waiting for its prey. So patiently, look at the placement of the rocket there, and looking for the placement of the rockets for the spawns, but no luck.
Sounds like Demon's going over towards the red though.
He did pick up the shards, and Evil's going to catch him out here at the Mega, and all of a sudden, it's 2 frags. Our prediction is looking good now. All of a sudden,
he's definitely got a chance to do it at least.
Oh, and he's missing.
There's really nothing Demon can do right now because nothing's up for a while. So now it's hard to win this battle here. He's so yeah, there we go. But he spawns right over on the top of the bridge. It sounds like.
Evil with the LG out, you can hear that hum. Just giving his
strange he'd do that with so little health. Yeah. He obviously gives that up, and now he's going to lose Mega too.
Gives his position away. It's so strange.
And now he's going to rush right towards him.
Oh my god, Evil.
But actually, he's going to steal Mega.
Oh my god, Demon. I guess he couldn't push through that choke point. Yeah, I guess he couldn't push through the choke point with Evil there with the lightning gun out, so he's too scared to do that in case of giving up the frags. He's thinking so much about frags and time right now. Frags and time, nothing else. It's just 50 points of health to survive with, and 75 now as he pushes into like 70 seconds left in this game. He's got to survive. Evil knows that all he has to do is just pick up some armor, and that will give him enough of a He just needs to be able to soak up one like horrible shot, like one defensive rocket. He's just got to soak up that, and then he can get the frag. And there we go. Dem0n doesn't even get like a good defensive rocket
now because here's Mega as well. But now what does he do? Does he let him go up?
Oh,
now he can even rush because there's so little health on Dem0n that if Dem0n doesn't take that LG there, he can get up there and at least he can defend, you know, once he's up at the top of the nearly armor.
Dem0n is not impressed now as a tied game. Dem0n has to play for the overtime right here because he's got no chance at all to commit to a fight. He's got no chance at all to just win control.
It sounds like he's going to get caught out here. Yep, this should be it.
Oh, but he's confident with the rockets, but the stack is too overwhelming.
And he spawns right on the real area.
And that has to be all she wrote. Or can Dem0n pull out some last-minute magic with the plasma gun? Here it comes. Plasma gun. Bolts just streaming everywhere, but no, not going to happen. If he'd been closer range, it would have been definitely a possibility. The plasma gun is such a crazy random weapon. And there you go. It's a 9-7 scoreline for Evil as he just on the comeback trail there in that game.
I mean, it was looking very good during that middle period for Dem0n there. It looked like he was hitting his shots. He was kind of catching him out of position. And Evil just spun it all in the last minute or so. It was even looking like, okay, it's going to be like he has to catch him out for the last 30 seconds or so to get this final kill. And then he suddenly just turned it completely to his favor.
Definitely. And
I mean, he showed superior timing on some of the items, I thought, in the second half of the map. Like, he always had an idea of when Mega was coming up, when can I actually challenge for this red, and when will it just be picked up without me going?
But now, it's Furious Heights, which is actually Dem0n's map pick. And Dem0n has had... I always like to say, you know, posit that this is his strongest map, in fact, as well. And so let's see if Evil can actually contest with Dem0n here, because if Dem0n's hitting his rail on this map, he can beat anyone here. It can be very, very scary. But let's see how his form is. Let's see if the nerves get the better of him, or whether he stays with good composure throughout the entire duration of the match. It is match point for Evil here in the semi-final. And here we go, Evil and Dem0n on Furious Heights. We're off on Dem0n to begin with as he makes his way all the way over to that lightning gun, leaving the Mega up. Relatively standard stuff there. And the shards as well. So Dem0n's got a great start, just missing that railgun, but look, he's in this like money position, and his opponent doesn't have a lightning gun. That lightning gun is super crucial to defend those open areas around the Mega health, and also to attack onto his red. But Dem0n right there is going to be able to drop down in the comfort that his opponent. Look at this, he's abusing this mid-range. Look, making the rocket shots really hard, but making his LG angles great. But Evil actually manages to dodge around, and just look at him, just how he repositions during the fight, switches to rail. Just so much class coming out from Evil there, because Dem0n played that really well.
Dem0n was trying to pick like a good shot constantly, but Evil was just on such weird angles when he was coming in. He wasn't really taking any damage, and then he was just hitting to keep Dem0n off balance a bit.
And very strong railgun aim there from Evil, as well as he manages to deal even more death to his opponent Dem0n, as Evil Dem0n. As Evil manages to make even yet another frag. Dem0n is putting some like dots in the chat. This is not a good time to tilt. It's just 1 minute into the game. You gotta swallow.
You just won the last map.
Yeah, you just gotta. You have to swallow it. You have to make sure that you like isolate everything. Just take it situation to situation. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed, because if you do, then it's all over. And Dem0n is trying to battle. He manages to steal at least the red. Oh my God, Evil! Crazy rails.
Just a sliver to even shoot through there.
Absolutely amazing rails there from Evil. Just hit shots like that. So demotivating. That's like the one chance. Team's like, he picks up the red. Okay, my one chance. I took one rail. It's okay. But then the next rail to come through the pixel. Oh my God, it's really going to hurt. Test Dem0n's composure. His mental fortitude is going to be called into question here as Evil manages to look at more angles. He's not hitting the rails, but he already hit, I think, the most important one so far. And he's actually low on that rail ammo, but he wants to try and close the distance a little bit. Now he's got no rail left, but look, LG range is accessible there. So he's going to pick up the Mega, and Dem0n's going to find himself in a situation where he has to hit. And he will. Can he hit any more, though? There he tries, but no. Evil finishes off with the railgun. Evil going to drop down onto the red armor now. As he picks that up, he's still in a very strong position, and Dem0n is slowly just losing more and more frags. Does try to make some damage in the play from above, but not going to find too much yet. And Evil is just quite content so far, but he's not in. The stacks are pretty even, and after that rail, dem0n's actually in advantage. But then the rocket to make things just turn on their head completely, and even the prediction rocket. It was almost too easy for Evil there. I mean,
you can see what he was doing as he set it up there, but he was exactly on point.
So smooth, liquid smooth from Evil. When you make kills like that, it feels so good. You just feel like you're on top of the world. Just
completely pinned in here. There's nothing you can really do.
dem0n is looking for options, just juking and driving around there. As again, he was just like unable to just grab onto him, and finally he just managed to wrap his hands and clasp them around.
And we're not even 4 minutes into the game yet. It's already 8-0.
Things are looking very good for your prediction now, as dem0n is really struggling. 4 minutes now. 8 frags the difference. Can dem0n find something special? So far it's just been an aim display from Evil. Aim, good aim with the railgun, good aim with the rockets.
And he actually leaves the mega up.
Stealing away that red armor.
And he should have heard him there. He was above.
Makes the drop down. dem0n going to be retreating through that choke point towards the railgun area. Evil seems content to let him go, so that's okay for now. We've got also a red coming up in 10 seconds. dem0n is actually able to defend this. This could be a really huge moment for dem0n right now, because he's already 9 frags behind. That's already like way too much. But right now he had a lot of stack, and it just got dwindled. Just dwindled in the wind there, as Evil managed to just get rid of all of it with rails, with LG, and dem0n was just unable to return enough damage in kind. And then again, Evil just always wins these railgun situations at the moment, and dem0n is actually hitting a very uncharacteristically low amount of railgun. And at the start,
he looks a bit like he's been thrown off by how good Evil's aim's been, and as a result he's taking more cautious positions, and it doesn't really work.
Oh, great fight from dem0n, but perhaps too little too late, although it is just the 5-minute mark. But yeah, you know, what is your opinion on how...
The problem with this map is, like, if you're going to make the score back up, you can't afford to ever be out of control, because the guy in control can just stay in control actually without necessarily having to take too many fights. Because, I mean, he can just keep taking the armors, and he can let you have the odd mega while he gives you damage. And so it's one of those maps where it's really difficult in the sense of the guy in control can just play defensive. It's not like he has to give it up to then play his defensive game, you know. Whereas on a lot of the other maps, it's like that. Like, if you choose to run, at least the other guy takes the armors, then he keeps chasing you each time.
It's also, I think, this should also show a little bit of perspective to some people who don't look at the mental side of the game as much as well, because I think it's quite clear that dem0n was also experiencing some frustration in his game, and that frustration has so many side effects on your performance and your focus and your ability to play at the highest level of your game. And so you can see Evil here just annihilating his opponent with his lightning gun, which is so well known to be immaculate. And dem0n is...
This just looks like frustration here, like there was nothing really to gain from that. I mean, obviously, if Evil just perfectly stays in front of the plasma, it possibly could get low, but it's very likely he could have killed his whole stack with that there.
Yeah.
But I mean, if nothing else is working, that's where people do these tilt moves, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it could... I mean, if he was able to deal like 100, 150 damage or something like that, it could have been a play where he gives away 2 or 3 frags rushing, because all the items are kind of 20 seconds away, but at the same time it is very much a hazardous thing to do, and dem0n definitely is not hitting it, whether it's because it's his frustration that he's not hitting, or he's getting frustrated because he's having a bad day and not hitting, and then that's making his decision making worse or whatever. I don't know what it is, but dem0n...
It's kind of a vicious cycle, isn't it? It's like once one thing starts going wrong like that, there's a tendency for the other to follow suit.
And it really shows you as well, like, I mean, it's one of the hugest elements to consistency. It's like nailing down all these like mental concepts to like really understand how to keep yourself in the zone, how to keep yourself like, when you're experiencing like the biggest hardships in the game, when it's really testing you mentally, that you're able to just stay on top of it. And that's like what makes champions, one of the biggest things that makes a champion a champion. And
well, I mean, one of the most difficult concepts for people to understand, even good players sometimes, is this idea that, okay, so you've done a few small mistakes which have cost you now, but if you then add on to those small mistakes with a bit of frustration, then you just make it into a big mistake, and now suddenly you might have lost the whole game. Whereas really, okay, you're not going to win the game immediately, you're going to have to make small gains to get back there, but in the same way as your opponent probably got his lead onto you by little gains himself, you can do that to him
Yeah,
in reverse, and that's how you get back into a game. But that's the toughest mindset to develop, I think.
I agree.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, very few people naturally have that. You know, your natural tendency is to want to just get it all back right now. Oh, I did one big mistake. Okay, do it all. Get it all back in 1 or 2 kills. You know.
And it's really easy to freak out and stuff as well, and like think that it's way worse than it is.
I think the worst thing about tilt play as well is that your tilt play, your frustrations, everyone who's in control is they play getting used to that style, and so you actually play right into their hands. Like, okay, they have the armor, they take a good position, and then they're taking this favorable fight too.
Yep.
So actually, the tilt plays, they're very different from plays where you try to immediately get control back because you have like even stacks or something where you can maybe push the issue. A lot of the tilt plays are literally going into the worst possible situation just out of frustration.
Yeah, yeah. And it's actually thinking about the mistakes. Like something that someone said to me when a guy I used to play a lot of StarCraft with, he used to say to me is like, if you make 1 or 2 like small mistakes, just don't ever let it compound into a big mistake.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like it's so easy to give up at the small mistakes. So easy when it's just far from over. And so that is definitely, I think, a very good insight that you had there, and it definitely had a big impact for me.
We actually used to say this was like something that people used to have to learn in Counter-Strike, okay? Because this is a game of halves in Counter-Strike.
Yep.
If you lost the first half really big, it's easy to think, "Whoa, it's almost certain I'm going to lose." But actually, the mentality you had to have if you were going to try and win was to think, "Okay, so they did that to me on their half. Now, if I can just replicate what they did, then I'm right back in the game again." So you had to have that mentality. Okay, he gave me his best shot, and now I'll just like recompose, and now I'll try and do as good or better again. Like, don't think of it as like just the way the score's going. Oh, I'm behind. You just think like, if I can do it an equal amount in the second half, then maybe I can even it. You know?
Yeah, it's like you just isolate it's like the outcome expectancy or dependency thing. Like, just isolate what the outcome is and just play situation for situation, so that you're just playing. You're always just thinking about, what is the optimal position right now?
And
like,
the funny
I am
thing
in
is,
this position. How do I optimally
you
play
notice
this?
people who get really good at those comebacks, grinding it out. The reason they also win is because the person who's in the big lead, he then also has out-down dependence, but the other way around. So he feels like, okay, I've got a cushion here. Oh, I can give up this kill. It's not too bad. So actually, he'll then make small mistakes himself, just from either overconfidence or thinking like, oh, I've got this sort of wrapped up. And so that you put yourself in a position to get back in by doing that.
Yeah, it's a really important. I think because we spoke about this last night together. It's like super important like aspect, like the kind of sports psychology area of like esports. It doesn't really get talked about, but it's like incredibly important. So it's always really nice to talk about that. But the game's ended now, 16-2, and that's going to be a quick 2-0 for Evil.
Surprisingly quick as well. I mean, it's very rare that you'll see T7 decided so quickly in the game.
Yeah, that's very true. And now we have, of course, a pretty good grand final to go to. We have Evil versus Cypher. So that's going to be like really, really good. Like Cypher, of course, just crushing Kilson in the best of 7, 4-0 in the 125 FPS final just recently, showing that he's got great form. And today we've seen that he's hitting some good form as well. And we have Evil here that looks like he's in pretty decent shape as well. But his real test is going to be Cypher, and there probably is no greater test at the moment for any. Cypher's probably at the peak form of any player right now from the recent results we've seen. So this is going to be good. So we're going to go to a quick break, guys. When we come back, of course, actually, I'll add a few things first before we go to the break. So one thing is, if you've been like playing the Sunday Cup today and you've had some amazing frags, and you're like, okay, but my game wasn't covered on FACEIT TV. No one saw my awesome frags. Well, you can send them to my email, and I can submit those to the movie maker, so we can like see if we can put those in the next top 5 video. So if you just mail those frags over to ddk@faceit.com, we can look at those frags and consider them for the next movie. And of course, remember, if you're enjoying the action here, remember to follow us on Twitch, hit us up on Facebook as well, FACEIT Community. Check out the video content on YouTube, FACEIT.com, and also tweet about us on FACEIT. So there you go. And I think, is there one more thing? Okay, so the last thing that I'll say before we go to the break is, after the break, we will have the movie, and then we'll get into the grand finals. So that's what you got to expect. So we'll see you soon. Bring all your friends, because it's going to be Evil versus Cypher, and it's going to be exciting stuff. I can't wait. See you soon.